Thanks for watching this episode of The Angry Video Game Nerd on the 3DO. But before we dive in, let me tell you a little bit about our sponsor, Raycon, and their everyday E25 earbuds.
What the?
Raycon's wireless earbuds feature seamless Bluetooth pairing and 6 hours of playtime for half the price of the other premium.
Angry Video Game Nerd with sponsors? Oh wait, it's what? It's not me.
In an array of colors with a variety of fit options, so you'll always be sure to find the perfect match. They're comfortable and sound great too. They're my companion while cleaning up and doing chores around the house, so that I never have to be without my favorite podcasts and music. Click the link.
There we go. There's the achievement.
.com/Cinemassacre to get 15% off your Raycon purchase. You know, I'm sick of all these baby toys I have lying around. The Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. Might as well be a rattle and a diaper full of crap. They can't compare to the real gaming juggernaut, the 3DO. Yeah, look at that. This is the real console. More like a real piece of dog shit. The fact they had the audacity to make a commercial calling all other systems baby toys and then put out a glorified FMV player with barely any decent games blows my mind. Also, something I want to mention, the 3DO is one of the rare consoles where you have to daisy chain the controllers together. I've talked a little about this system before, and I never knew a single person who owned it when it came out. Now, why is that? Maybe because when it launched, this fucking bastard cost $700 goddamn dollars. Yeah, that's right, and we're talking $700 back in '93. To compare that to prices nowadays, with inflation, $700 in '93 equates to about $1,200 in 2021 money. The PlayStation 5 costs $600 right now. Imagine that pitch to your parents. Hey Dad, I need $700 for a new 3DO console. It'd be cheaper for them to slap you upside the head with the Neo Geo cartridge. Your parents would probably flip you off and tell you to go fuck yourself. The 3DO would eventually be price dropped to shit and discontinued after 3 years on the market. It was mostly marketed as a multimedia machine. It had a bunch of non-game kind of shit like educational shovelware and, of course, a whole assload of soft stool porn games. Like a lot of porn. Can you imagine? You don't want to imagine. A guy in his living room with a 3DO controller in one hand and his, in the other hand, just furiously beating it till plumbers don't wear ties? Today, I'll just be focusing on the shallow end of the cesspool with some piss-poor games. When the system launched, there was only one game available, Crash and Burn. That's such a kick in the fucking balls, especially for the price. Imagine dropping $700 on an NES and the only game at launch was Super Pitfall. It starts with about 15 minutes of full motion video and production logos. You'll see as I go on that this becomes the fucking theme of the 3DO. 20 minutes of FMV and about 5 minutes
Oh crap.
because I end up shutting most of the games.
Oh no.
Crash and
No.
Burn, a futuristic fecal fart-fest combat racing game made by Crystal Dynamics, the company best known for the Legacy of Kain series, and later the Tomb Raider series. The game has 6 characters you can choose from, and each one cuts to a promo when you select them.
I like to destroy races in many different ways, just to keep from being wrong.
I like this guy because he looks like Blanca from Street Fighter became a professor or something. You can also play as Rod Stewart if you want. So you might be thinking to yourself, this doesn't look all that bad. But think about this. If you wanted to play this back in '93, you'd have to drop about $750. And that's not mentioning the fact that a complete copy can run you around $700 today. The combat's pretty lame. The weapons feel like they do absolutely nothing, and the racing is mediocre at best. I guess the graphics looked impressive back in '93, but give me F-Zero any day of the week because Crash and Burn is just plain zero. If combat racing is your thing, Road Rash, on the other hand, is excellent. Everything about this game is great, from the gameplay to the rockin'-ass soundtrack. My only real complaint is the engine sound. It's awful. Luckily you can turn it off, but if you don't, all you hear is a high-pitched the entire race.
Sir, may I interest you in Cobra's gift cards?
Money by racing and buy better bikes. Acid trip, real 90s style shit. I usually pick Slim Jim because he starts off with a club. Hearing that clunk sound every time I cave in a rider's skull is so satisfying. In between races, you get these FMV cutscenes. They're pretty cool. Overall, this is probably the best game on the 3DO. Definitely in the top 5. But like a lot of the other games on here, it's available on the PlayStation or Saturn, and nowadays, the 3DO copy can cost you upwards of $80 for a complete one. So just get it on PlayStation for 20 bucks. Another game you could also get on the PlayStation is Gex, Crystal Dynamics' entry into the 3DO mascot contest. The game uses pre-rendered 3D graphics for character sprites. It reminds me of
Forsaker.
On the internet, this game gets talked about a lot, but the funny thing is, everyone always shows the graveyard level. Probably because the game is so boring, everyone turns it off once they've recorded enough footage. It's an okay platformer, and Gex was able to damn short after 3DO died out. The same can't be said for 3DO's true mascot, however, Captain Quasar. This game also uses the pre-rendered sprite look, but plays like an overhead shooter instead of a platformer. The gameplay is fine, but it's super repetitive. You just run around shooting stuff. The camera snaps and swings around like it's being controlled by a drunk uncle out of an animated movie. It kind of makes me sick. Captain Quasar is making me Captain Queasy. Sorry. The best part of this game is the insane musical number at the beginning. The robots are rapping and singing about Captain Quasar. The animation's pretty decent, but it seems like they put way more effort into this intro than the actual game. Here's a weird one. Soccer Kid. You play as this little shit that runs around kicking a soccer ball at people. I guess the story is that some space pirates steal a soccer trophy or something, then they crash and the pieces fly all over the world and you have to collect them. It's animated like a dollar store bootleg DVD. Use your soccer ball as a weapon. Without powers or any way to attack or defend yourself. I played this game long enough to realize that I don't really like it and would rather base jump into a flea market porta-john than play anymore. Also, I don't know what this kid did, but everyone in this town wanted to fucking kill him. Dogs, skateboarders, and especially these surly-looking guys who whip wrenches at his head.
How fucked up is that? This kid's willing to travel the world to save a soccer trophy, but grown adults will cave his skull in with a wrench to stop him. This game is fucked up.
Battle Chess is a game I remember thinking was an awesome idea. That is until I actually played it. It's possibly the slowest game of chess I've ever witnessed. Yeah. Each time a piece moves, you have to watch it walk to the spot, and these characters walk slower than compacted shit.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I was playing this shit for almost 10 minutes before anything happened. Eventually, I just started sacrificing.
Yeah, try voting that.
To see the kill animations, which I'll admit are fucking stupendous. I love the Monty Python reference with the knife.
Merry f***ing Christmas.
But that's all it is. It's the world's slowest chess simulator. I'd be fine if the pieces didn't need to slowly saunter over to each space. I can't believe they made a video game that's actually slower and more boring than an actual chess game. You'd have a better time watching a dog turd turn white. And yes, real chess is awesome. It's the intellectual shit, man. The Horde is a game that's usually praised as one of the best games on the system. It's fine. You play as Kirk Cameron swinging around a giant sword. Yes, you actually play as Kirk Cameron. There's an intro cutscene that, of course, goes on for like 10 minutes. Kirk saves a king from choking to death, and in return is given his own plot of land and a big-ass sword.
Would you like
planting trees,
Culver's gift card?
so you can pay your taxes. In between building phases,
Do you want Culver's gift cards?
trolls. So Kirk runs around swinging his sword like a maniac and slashing
Okay.
trolls into puddles of liquid. It's a decent.
I require
500 cigarettes.
It just gets old pretty quick. Another decent game for the 3DO is
Really?
Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Would be decent. In fact, it could have been the best home console incarnation of the Street Fighter 2 lineage that existed back in the day. But there's one problem. One huge problem. The 3DO controller has 3 buttons.
How big can we make this?
Everyone knows you need 6. So I got the Pro Pad, which has the same button configuration as a Super Nintendo controller. And we all know Street Fighter
Not that big.
is great on the Super Nintendo. 4 buttons on the front, 2 on the top. There's your 6. You're all set. But this controller, you wouldn't believe. The bottom button, X, is actually the start button. And it can't even be changed in the option menu. You can reassign.
It needs to arm.
So when you're trying to
Great.
you're gonna keep accidentally pausing the game. That fucking
I thought I could just throw them around willy-nilly.
STD. You'd be better off getting a real STD than getting this shit. So what you really need to get is the weird-ass Capcom fight pads that you had to send away for. They're one of the dumbest shaped controllers I've ever seen, though surprisingly comfortable. Also, the music in the game is awesome. It's an arranged version of the original and sounds great. So this one is good as long as you get the right controller. But you want to see some shit? Well, check out Way of the Warrior. This game was developed by Naughty Dog before they made hits like Crash Bandicoot. Imagine Mortal Kombat if nobody gave 2 flying shits about it. The ninja character in the game is just named Ninja. A ninja named Ninja. You can't get any lazier than that shit. Also, what in the fuck hell is a Shaky Jake? Each character plays like a cheap, chunky fox. They jump like 40 feet in the air, and you can get caught in infinite downward attacks until you're fucking dead in 10 seconds. The special attacks are more like shit spectacles. And don't even get me started on the fatalities, because they are just confusing as all hell.
I see your heart beats for me.
An honorable mention is the soundtrack that just plays an endless string of White Zombie songs. I'm pretty sure that's where the entire budget went, because the game is programmed like someone wrote the code.
You're more expendable.
Game sucks.
Go over there. I'm one of Santa's elves.
Very mean shit.
I need to work at the North Pole. I need you to go through there so I can get to work.
Sounds like they hired the band that got last place in the Battle of the Bands at the East Bumblefuck Community Center. All the music's by a band called Tie-Dye, spelled T.
Welcome to
I tried to look them up on Google,
Hi.
but all I got was articles on people in Thailand.
We're just playing some good old Forest Saker.
The band name didn't go very far.
And I'm
Play
out.
as a leathery,
Okay.
long-haired dirtbag with dual shotguns and shoot the shit out of seagulls, weird faceless dudes, wasps, and Ed Tool. You can either get your ass
crap.
to the beach or Boo Haunted House. The Haunted House level makes no sense either. It's just a snowfield with a bunch of giant snowmen rolling their balls at you. You can move up against the wall, but the controls get fucked. If you
Come over here, Johnny.
throw it in the old trashuoso. Alone in the Dark 1 and 2 are a couple games that are known for their influence for the Resident Evil series. They're basically Resident Evil if every character was played by a diseased Muppet. The tank controls are far worse than Resident Evil, if you can believe it. Everything moves at a snail's pace. The graphics, I'm sure at the time, were decent, but everything looks like a pulsating mass of polygonal and pixelated poo-poo. Anything in the distance looks like a blob of geometry jism, and I can't get anywhere in the game without dying. Being the first of its kind is a tough deal. Basically, this game walked so Resident Evil could run. Right now, these games are giving me the runs.
The perfect domain tells your brand story. Grab it now on this and go from what if to what's next. Turn your ideas into a living site with tools that move with you on a platform that brings it all together. Put your name on it. Go to its domains.
Siberia is a baffling mess. It looks like another Resident Evil type game, but if Resident Evil has tank controls, Siberia has septic tank controls. Basically, you point the character in the direction you want to go, and a video of him walking plays. The best part of this game is the death animations. You also die from the stupidest shit. He dies from slipping in a puddle? And also from touching this hot barrel? He's probably the most inept hero I've ever seen in a video game. Eventually, you get to a part where you're defending the base from a bunch of pictures of aircrafts and boats. I don't know if this is the rest of the game, but it goes on forever.
It's like if Top Gun on the NES barked into the where did you learn
Yummers.
So, we've covered a bunch of games so far. Horror games, combat racing, platformers, fighters, and whatever the ever-loving fuck virtuoso is. But now, let's get into the premier genre of the 90s. The first-person...
Oh, that was cover.
First up is Poed. No, actually, it's PO'd. This game is just weird-ass shit. You play as an intergalactic chef who's the last living member of the ship's crew. You fight evil alien asses and other ugly-as-sin monsters with a frying pan. The movement of this game gives me severe motion sickness. I played a lot of early first-person shooters, but this one just moved like you're ice skating after downing a bottle of Ipecac syrup. I have the urge to violently projectile vomit after a few minutes of this, and not just because it kind of sucks. But here we go. The granddaddy of shit first-person shooters on the 3DO. Doom. And I know, you're wondering, how could you have the audacity to spray steamy, foamy diarrhea on Doom? But hear me out. Doom on the 3DO is not Doom. It's a sad excuse for Doom. Doom on a TI-83 graphic calculator would play better than this. I want to be known, this game was ported over by one person, tasked with making this game happen and only equipped with 2 shit sticks to rub together.
Oh crap.
What you get is Doom running at about the frame rate of a Viewmaster. Seriously, this game at the lowest setting runs at almost single-digit frame rates and plays like a fucking lawn chair. There's actually a code for larger screen sizes, but it's way worse. It's almost hard to believe this would be allowed to be released at retail, but it was the 90s. Look at all the broken-ass shit that was allowed to pass elsewhere. This was the system that brought you such gems as Plumbers Don't Wear Ties and Shadow War.
Good lord, there's too many sentinels.
Without mentioning Demolition Man. The thing that stuns me about this game is the amount of actual Stallone that is in the game. You don't just get movie clips like you would in most games. You get Sylvester Stallone running around fake backgrounds on a green screen. It's incredible. The game skirts the line between a light gun shooter and a first-person shooter. Imagine Doom if you just stood still while enemies popped up around you. Oh, and don't forget the Mortal Kombat-style boss fights. This game is definitely a product of its time. Maybe I'll get into it more another day, because I suck ass at the fighting scenes. Speaking of games with known actors in it, check out Hell, which has Dennis Hopper. It's a cyberpunk FMV game, but all you need to know, it's called Hell and has Dennis fucking Hopper. On to the motherlode of 3DO shit, American Laser Games. So this company put out a bunch of awful, shit-stained light gun games. Their most notable ones were the Mad Dog McCree games, but they also made the Crime Patrol series. The Mad Dog McCree games are spaghetti western-type light gun shooters that use interactive full-motion videos. They're fun as a novelty, but considering the price of the light gun and the games, plus the actual 3DO, you'd be spending around $900 to play them back in '93. Plus, nowadays, the gun is super rare and can go for almost the price of the 3DO console. Is it worth it? Well, not the fuck really, especially since you need a CRT to play it with. But if all you had was one of these new HD TV things, well, then you're gonna have to use the regular 3DO controller or the mouse. Yeah, the mouse.
You have to be rich as shit to collect 3DO games, or just happen to have a family member that owned a Panasonic store in the 90s. Special thanks to my buddy Rob for letting me borrow all his expensive shit so I can rip it apart with criticism 30 years later.
The first Mad Dog McCree game can only be played with the gun or the controller. With the controller, it's impossible. You have to move the cursor down to the bottom of the screen to reload, and it moves super slow. By the time you reload and move it back up, you're already dead. Mad Dog McCree 2 lets you use the mouse, but it sucks balls. You start off shooting shit with this old dude, and then come across a guy that's riddled with arrows. Like, goddamn, that dude should be dead as fuck before you even talk to him. Then it's a miracle if you get past the first group of dudes shooting at you. The hitbox is not only small as fuck, but it's timed. If you don't shoot the extremely small target before it expires, you're dead. It's the same in Crime Patrol. Some of the enemies aren't able to hit right away. Then you have a split second when they're able to be shot to get them. If not, you get made fun of for dying.
You'll never make sergeant. Sorry, partner. You just don't know beans about me.
Down here, we just go shooting like that.
You're dead. That's not good, is it?
Yeah, you think that's normal for a cop or sheriff to make fun of their dead partner for getting killed? These people are fucked up beyond all recognition. Foodlard, if you will. Sometimes it's hard to even see where the enemies are. Like in a dark room, they're just pixels. How am I supposed to hit them? Without the gun, these games are pig shit in the wind. Even with the mouse, they're just weird to play. I can't stop dying over and over. It's sad because the sequel to Crime Patrol, Drug Wars, is hilarious. It opens with this dude doing the world's worst Tony Montana impression.
I am no. I have the mansion, I have the money, I have the drugs, I have the power.
Then you're working with Officer Hillbilly, running you down all the drug operations in this hick fucking town, wherever they film this. But even with the gun, these games seem insanely difficult. Unless you know every single thing that's about to come at you. They're definitely interesting with their mix of live-action video and gameplay. Maybe I'll do an episode on American laser games in the future, maybe. But for now, these games, fuck off.
So I've gone through a pretty big list of games, and while I can't play every 3DO game, there is one I have left that's haunted me since 2007.
Now we got Corpse Killer. Unfortunately, I can't even show you much about this game because it keeps freezing. I actually had a lot to say about this one, but right now, it's not fucking working. Corpse Killer, consider yourself lucky.
That's right.
I like this game. Yeah, let's get some decent value.
Great. Hang on, bro. Let me show you something real cool. I want to show you something. Show me, show you something. Okay, right? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I just got the achievement. Okay. No, all I want is the spoon.
Not be doing this, boys. Yeah.
Oh, we get that $30. Oh, okay, so they're what do those do?
You can definitely double and triple pop.
I think you're right. I stand corrected.
Wow. So are there no extra spins?
I think there are.
Okay.
Alright, and if we get a $1 sign, I believe we get a spin here.
Alright, good. We're in it.
Do we?
I think so. We did last time.
It's approaching good block play territory.
Spin? Spin. Okay, yeah, just give us. Oh, we got full screen.
Full hog.
Hopefully they don't have the bow mummy and crap on the when you get the whole hog technology.
Oh, they
What
do.
the crap was that?
30x, that's not a horrible bonus.
Well, I like the bonus frequency, don't get me wrong, but I would like to actually get a good bonus. I was still in it.
Fun game. In 7,500.
He took
That's
more
right.
money out.
Yeah, we took the exact hand payout.
See how I did that?
What?
I said, that's right. That's like kind of you've been saying.
Right.
That's right.
Well, I know it's not possible, but like we should go for a double or triple pop, right?
Yeah.
We definitely got to empty that multiplayer boost case.
I'd like to see them all. So do we like the 6x6 reels or the golden reels better?
I like the 6x6 better so far, but they're both fun. I don't know, the golden reels when they spin, it looked like some big values could land.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, but it was a lot of $30 actually landing. I feel like it's a little weighted.
Oh, look at that. I'd like to see us get 3 of a kind again and see if you automatically get it. I think that, if so, I like that feature. I think more games should have that. Like on Mo Mummy, Yo Yeti, or whatever, if you get 3 red, you should just get it.
Yeah.
What's the innings now again? I forget.
7,500.
Ah.
I mean, it can't be that hard to program it that way, right? Where if you get 3 of them.
Right.
How much were we down when we came here? 5 or 75? We got 3.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah! The impossible double pop.
Okay, golden reels and multiplier.
Oh, this is gonna be big. Look at old Sugar Daddy.
Yeah.
Right? Alright, no harm, no foul there.
Oh, look, he's dancing like you, W2.
Yeah, I do dance that way.
So what does that thing do?
I want residuals from that. Pick my dance.
Must be like,
There we go.
Good catch. Yeah.
Still have a whole bonus left. Dollar sign. Oh.
$2. $150.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I was just thinking about how slot games need to be a little bit more unique, and I know this is Mo Mummy-esque, but it's different. I like it.
Yeah, it's different enough that it's good, you know?
Look, he's lost his seat.
Oh wow, what do those do? The blue diamonds, they increase the multiplier?
I would say.
oh yeah, look at the
Oh,
top
we
left.
didn't land one. We landed, yeah.
It must keep increasing. Oh, we're all the way up to 1x.
Alright, good.
We're getting ready to grow here.
Let's get some more spins.
Always ready.
We get another game on this?
No, the next one you do.
Is it that, or is it just if you were out of game, you like
Grab it.
one more?
Oh, it's done.
And it.
What does that do? Oh, multiplier.
This is huge. I bet you this is where the money is in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see it.
Come on, spins here, spins. Ah,
What's that? That's the total whip?
no? We need spins here. Come on, spins or dollar sign.
Spins.
Imagine if you get like a 1250 locked in there.
Ah, that's still good. All right, spin or dollar sign, please.
Spin. I think a spin's more valuable.
$2 sign is essentially the same thing as a spin.
Come on.
What? Oh.
Not terrible, though.
No, that sort is crazy though.
Wow, 3450 or so?
Raise on the roof. I like it.
3530, very
Oh,
good.
we're back in it.
We're almost 5 of 7,500.
I like it.
Innage is now 4,000, which is, I feel like a great comeback. Let's just see if we can get lucky again.
It felt like we were definitely going to lose 10,000.
And I think it's fair to say that you were wrong about this game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was wrong. It's way more fun than I
Now
thought.
look at every single tray is empty right now.
Yeah.
Although in fairness, my bigger point was that this AGS, their games are feast or famine. There's a game that they make that it has expanding lines, like expanding ways. You go from like 500 ways to 4,000.
Thank you.
And that game is crazy.
Thank you.
I remember one time W2 had a line pay betting like 528 for $3,500, maybe 5,000.
Maybe even more. It was There was a massive.
I remember over at the Paris.
That was quite the process there. You dropped all the stuff, or what happened?
I was a complete disaster. I'm exhausted.
Yeah,
that was a long flight.
Traveled across country. Didn't really eat the greatest.
I don't think I ate much of anything.
You were worried about the ice on the windows on the plane?
Oh my god.
Thought we might be subject to a 4-hour takeoff delay.
Yeah, we were flying at 49,000 feet to stay above the weather. That's really high. That's like way higher than commercial flights fly.
Come on. Oh no. Man, I would love to get one more.
Yeah!
Oh, we got it.
He listened.
Look, Daddy has a rhyme. Come on, Daddy.
Oh, look at that.
5% plane. Wow, look at that. What? $1,530 for a line tag.
That feels like a big line tag.
It's $1,500 worth of planes and then $30 for the planes.
It's like a big hand painting.
Get even or get even worse time. $2,500. One hand of Baccarat will determine our fate. It'll either be a slight winner or a little bigger loser. Let's go. Okay, she told me. Bank her hand coming up. Let's see it. 50-50. Thank you. I'd say you too, but I'm not really rooting for your luck. Oh, you're opening it up already. Okay, 2. All right.
You can beat a 2. If you can't beat a 2, you shouldn't even come to the casino, like my good friend W2 always says.
I couldn't agree more.
That's a 1, 2, or a 3.
Yeah.
2-side, 3-side.
Also,
2 of those.
Well, I bet you're the very worst, you're tied.
I bet you're winning. Yo, picture and you win.
Yeah.
Easy.
Picture's a very good chance. What's the chances of a picture in this?
3/13?
Picture! Ooh. Oh.
Tie?
Oh.
Hiya.
So that's okay, we get to do it again. That's what she said. Alright, obviously you drunk.
That's so annoying.
I thought, no, when you do it in turn, you do it really loud.
Ratio 3.
You go more this. Like that. That's what you do. No. That's a different, it's a little different, yeah. Not like my wife.
That's what a lot of people say.
3 sides.
Yes.
Oh, I think I caught.
Well, hopefully we have a picture.
Yeah.
We're cashing it.
Yeah.
Cash it.
we did it. We found a way to win.
All right, so we're booking a win first night in Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Hope we don't go over the falls over the next couple days. We keep winning.
Yep.
I'm done. Going to bed.
You gonna do a wrap up this time or no?
Oh yeah, I got to wrap up here. I don't have to wait for the next day like last time. So we had 23.75 when we're down 22.
We had 8.
We were down 21.84 or something like that.
Oh, it's way off.
Well, I don't know.
So we won about 175.16. So 191 bucks. Plus we got valuable player points. All right. Are we filming?
Yeah.
Look at this all in.
Okay, here we go.
You just
So in summary, I think we just figured out that we won $191. But we got valuable player points which can be used for buffalo wings, legitimate buffalo wings here in Buffalo. We met someone who owned 2 like hole-in-the-wall buffalo wing places. He said were very good, better than anywhere else. So I'd like to try that if I can find the place. I feel like flying on planes dehydrates you. That's at least what Vegas Mom says. You got to drink a lot of water.
I also think we found a really fun new game.
I like that game. Yeah. It's like a suitcase, that game almost.
It had 3 suitcases in the game.
See? There you have it. Yeah, I like that. I think Grand Legends is actually a fun game. I like it. Yes, we do get wrecked a lot sometimes, but you get wrecked on everything. Look, we got wrecked 75,000 on Buffalo. It's the greatest game ever. Gonna get some rest, hydrate, get up, do some Tai Chi, and fire it in there in Niagara Falls again tomorrow. Excited about all the events and whatnot that we're having here, and it's going to be a great couple of weeks. Hope to see you in one of these places that we're going to, Reno, Arizona, and Niagara Falls. See you tomorrow.
Smart founders know something most people miss. Get your domain name even if you're not ready to launch your business. With Wix, you can grab yours now and then get to work. Here's why it matters. Back in 2019, I had this killer business idea, but I delayed getting the domain name because I wasn't ready. That was a huge mistake. Someone else grabbed it, built the exact same business I planned, and now they're making all the money that I could have been making. And that's why I'm sharing this. Locking down your domain name is crucial. And on Wix, it's super fast. They handle all the tricky tech stuff for you. making it seamless. And honestly, having a domain name gives your idea instant credibility. A domain name isn't just a name, it's a way to claim your space and take your idea seriously. Because once it's taken, you're stuck paying a premier price for it or losing it. So go to Wix right now, search your idea. If the domain is available, grab it.
Classic myths of ancient Greece. Which would you say is the most remarkable? Would it be the story of Prometheus, the Trojan War, the Trojan War, the quest for the Golden Fleece, the rescue of Andromeda? All would be very common choices, as would be any of the legendary heroes: Achilles, Hercules, Perseus, Odysseus. But there is perhaps one that stands out from the rest. It doesn't come from the writings of Plato, Homer, or Sophocles, but from Nintendo in the year 1987 AD. Not written with papyrus, but as ROM data on a circuit board. Not sculpted in marble, but encased in a gray plastic cartridge. The tale in which I speak of is none other than Kid Icarus. I'm gonna take you back. No, I mean way back to the early days of the NES library. Think of it like the family tree of the Greek gods. There was the era of the primordials, followed by the Titans, and then the Olympians. The NES itself had its own primordial age, the black box games as we call them, because they all had that same uniform box art with those distinct pixelated characters that looked just like their in-game counterparts. These games were simpler to play. They were more arcade style, some of them being actual arcade ports like Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, Kung Fu, and Popeye. Of course, I can't forget Gyromite, since that game required a robotic operating buddy. Let's not dwell on that again. But without a doubt, the most prolific game of that launch was Super Mario Brothers, which would change the course of gaming history. So let's get into the next era of the NES library, which would be the equivalent of the Titans. This is when the true legends were born, and I do mean legend. Of course, all those games were previously released on the console's Japanese counterpart, the Famicom. But for the sake of the story, we're talking specifically the North American NES releases, because it was in the summer of '87 when the Nintendo gods descended before us. They came in swiftly, like a summer thunderstorm. The sky filled with smoldering clouds, churning, brewing in an electric tempest of gaming genius. And then the clouds opened up, and the golden rays of heaven shined upon us. And out from the rays, floating down, came 3 games: Zelda, Rejoice, Metroid, Hallelujah, Kid Icarus.
Let's grab the elephant seat.
No pain, no gain? No thanks. We want more. More game, more glory, and more... How'd you do that? When there's no pain, there's more gain. Real strength isn't taking pain, it's treating it. Advil targets pain caused by inflammation for fast, strong relief. Because greatness doesn't have to hurt. Advil, that's real strength.
Well, how would I describe that one? Well, I think the best way to sum it up would be with a very famous quote from the great mathematician, astronomer, inventor Archimedes. In his most famous publication, as he so wisely put it, in those immortal words, fuck it.
Yes, in this context, Kid Icarus had a lot to live up to. Is it remembered as an NES classic? Sure, it is, but comparably, it was the ugly duckling. Another way I can describe it is, if the Nintendo Summer of '87 was a hard rock metal festival, and you had all these amazing bands perform, like Iron Maiden, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, but the headliner was, Nickelback. Just think, after we first popped in Legend of Zelda and first took control of the elf-like hero Zelda, oh wait, that's Link. And then we fired up Metroid, playing as the armored suit space warrior, Metroid. Oh wait, that's Samus. Don't kid yourself. If you're as old as me, be honest. Did you know right away? Didn't you skip those opening prologues and ignore the manuals before you eventually found out the real names? So, with Kid Icarus, the character's name must be Icarus. It's the title of the fucking game. Well, guess what? It's Pit. Yeah. Well, why wasn't the game called Kid Pit? I guess it has sort of a shitty ring to it. They make a great movie, Kid Pit, starring Brad Pitt. Well, the original Japanese title translates to Light Myth, Tenna's Mirror. But for whatever reason, confusing us like that. Those motherfuckers. They're not like Oedipus. That guy was the original motherfucker. Anyway, the name Icarus comes from the story of King Minos, who built a labyrinth and put a monster in it called the Minotaur. The idea of labyrinths with monsters has probably influenced more video games than we can even begin to count. Anyway, to build the labyrinth, Minos used an architect by the name of Daedalus, like the Neo Geo Daedalus, which converts your arcade MVS Neo Geo cartridges to play on your AES Neo Geo console. The son of Daedalus was named Icarus, who he crafted a pair of wings for to escape his very own labyrinth that Minos imprisoned him in. The fate of Icarus was rather tragic, as he flew too high to the sun, melted his wings, and fell into the sea. With highs and lows, it's very similar to the fate of this game. It sits on a high pedestal, along with all the other highly appraised NES antiques. But has it aged like fine wine, or is it spoiled in vinegar? Let some corpus bastard find out. So the nature of this game is simple. It's a 2D action platformer where you go around shooting enemies while collecting power-ups. Not much to explain. It has only 4 stages, though it's so difficult and grueling it feels more like 50. You're underpowered with a short-range arrow attack. Yeah, Pit sucks. But at least he's not like the hunter Orion. In the classic Greek myth, did you know how Orion was birthed? Do you want to know? Well, okay, Zeus, Hermes, and Poseidon urinate onto a bull's hide, they bury it, and out from it spawns Orion. Imagine if your entire existence came from getting pissed on. Not just being pissed on, but pissed on by a god. Not just by a god, but by 3 gods. That'd be the most epic golden shower ever. Wow, holy shit. More like holy piss. Anyway, back to the game. So the first stage is vertical. You know, I'm sorry. I gotta ask, did the 3 gods piss on the bullhide at the same time? Like a big Olympian circle piss party? Okay, back to the game. Boy, here you wanna know about Egyptian myths. Okay, so Horus and Set are in competition to claim the throne of Egypt. Set comes on Horus's hands, and then Horus comes on Set's lettuce, which he eats, and then the god Thoth tries to settle it and asks who came on who, and the seed of Horus actually answers with words. The crazy thing is, I'm not making this up. The ancient Egyptians did. Yeah, man. You thought going all the way back, those stories would be more intellectual than what we have nowadays? No, those guys were pissing and coming on each other all the time. 3,000 years later, Mike Judge creates Beavis and Butthead. Nothing's changed. Anyway, let's start over. So there's this game on NES called Kid Icarus.
In this game, you fight enemies while collecting power-ups. Yeah, your health power-ups are, get this, wine. That's the best idea of a power-up I ever heard. It's a game made by Nintendo with kids in mind, where in order to get your health up, you must consume an alcoholic beverage. And a lot of it. Man, he drinks a lot of wine, and he graduates to barrels. Full fucking wine barrels. I mean, just to get his health up, he's got to get shit-faced. And dude, wine drunk is the worst. I mean, his teeth are like reddish purple, and he's staggering around. It's just... Why isn't this coming out? Oh, I forgot to take the bung out the bung hole. So let's call. Not a joke. Let's call. And whenever you see wine, you better get it. You think you could go in that door and then come back and it'll still be there? Of course it isn't. Where's my fucking wine? Don't take my fucking wine away! So if the wine is health, what are the hearts? Well, even though they look exactly the same as the hearts in Zelda, they're currency. Well, thanks again for...
You will be getting away.
You take those hearts and go into the store, but the store doesn't always have the item you want. So to get the item to appear, you gotta leave the store, and then come back in, leave the store, come back in, store, come back in, leave the store, come back in, do it again, and again, and again, and again. Oh, when you see the item you want, don't buy it just yet, because there's a special sale going on. To take advantage of this special sale, you must pick up the second controller and push A and B. How'd you know to do that? I know what you're thinking. Magazines, right? Nintendo Power. Find the clues that you can use. Nintendo Power! No, this was before Nintendo Power. Yeah, the power wasn't turned on yet. It was the Dark Ages. So, what did you do before the internet and before Nintendo Power? Well, the answer is you didn't do shit. If there was a strategy guide for this game, it would be only one page and say good fucking luck. I mean, look at this shit. The first stage is vertical, and if you fall back, you're dead. What killed me? The airspace I just occupied 2 seconds ago? Oh man, not again. And when you
Here's
die,
a gift.
take a guess what happens. It sends you back to the beginning of the stage. Staying alive is only the first issue, besides being BG songs. I'm funny. Next, the game becomes a where the fuck do you go type of game. Yeah, WTFDYG, one of those. Oh, jeez, I just barely missed that ledge. Now, how the hell I get back there, I don't know. You gotta get the map. It's essential. It basically looks like a waffle. No, Rick, it is a waffle. Yeah.
Get back here.
This way. Oh, but guess what? The map does nothing. In Zelda, you know, that other Nintendo-made game that came out around that same time, wasn't there a little dot to mark where you are on the map? Here, there's nothing of the sort. That means it's a waffle. Did you ever have a waffle that had a dot on it telling you where to go? No, pretty useless, I'd say, to rely on a waffle while fighting monsters and navigating through labyrinths. Okay, really now, it is the map. It's not lying, but you need to buy a pencil to mark your spot. A pencil. The character needs a pencil to mark the spot. He's in the middle of fighting monsters, then he has to stop and write shit down. Oh look, I finally get to use something from my fashionable pouch right here. So he's like, oh, wait, hang on just a minute, I gotta write that. Oh, and meanwhile, he's like chugging just massive barrels full of wine, and he's got his sword and his shield and all that shit, and he's got his bow and arrow, and oh shit, and then he's got like fucking torches and all that. Why does this torch make noise? Why does this torch have to make noise? But here's the deal. We accept it. It's made up video game shit. How does Link carry all that stuff? Doesn't matter. It's the kind of thing you're not meant to think about. But you kind of drew my attention to it there. Not to mention, it's a pencil in ancient Greece. What do you expect? He's writing with a pencil. With toxic green lead. Let's talk about the enemies. It's definitely definitely a far cry from the monsters of Greek mythology. Actually, I think, wasn't it the 12 Labors of Hercules when he faced off against a bunch of flying Groucho Marx, noses and glasses, and Goombas? They're Goombas! Did Nintendo rip off Nintendo? Metroids? Definitely. It's beyond question. These are Metroids. Maybe the game's named after them. Maybe they're called Kid Icaruses. There's also the Sirens, which are naked as hell if you look in the manual. Imagine being 5 years old and seeing that. It's a Nintendo manual with tits! But the enemy you don't want to run into is the Eggplant Wizard. This guy was actually one of the villains on the show Captain N. So what happens here, he turns you into an eggplant. This isn't the only game that has eggplants. They also appear in Adventure Island, and likewise, you don't want them. I don't know what it is with eggplants and NES games, but I hear that eggplants have sort of come back into fashion again recently. I don't know why. I'll have to look into that. Or not. So now that you're an eggplant, you can't attack and can't do much of anything. What do you expect? You're an eggplant. You're lucky to walk. So now you just gotta avoid everything. It's like, hey, out of my way. Fucking eggplant coming through. You gotta get to the hospital. Yeah, there's an actual hospital room where they cure you of your eggplant status. Can you imagine walking into the ER and being like, hey, I'm an eggplant. Okay, here's some paperwork. Sit over there. The only thing I hate worse than the eggplant wizards are the bumblebees, or whatever they are. Look at this asshole. He just took my protection barrier away. I worked hard for that. I had to buy the wand. Those things cost 700 hearts. And that brings me to another point. The most annoying, taxing, and draining thing in the whole damn game is getting enough hearts to increase your health limit. You have to pick a spot and just kill enemies over and over. In fact, you better do it on level 1, because if you don't, your health meter will be so minuscule, you won't last on the later stages. I'm not messing around. I'm saying you better get 999 hearts before even thinking about moving forward. It's mandatory. And is that fun? Is that what you want to do? Nowadays they call this farming. Wonder who came up with that one? Farming? On Nerd Farms, we take pride in growing weapons and health items for your gaming needs. We work with the most fertile ground where purple snakes respawn, delivering fresh to your character's inventory and health meter. Whether it be slices of pizza for your reptilian green friends, or boomerangs for your purple bat-suited hero, we raise the finest free-range turkey legs for your vampire-whipping adventures. We're proud of the quality of our purple glowing orbs to keep you charged during those alien planet excursions. Direct from land, we make our own blue shimmering capsules for your robot blasting escapades. This ain't just power-ups. This is family. Nerd Farms. Now that's what you call a seal of quality. Another term I hear a lot is grinding. Not gonna skip it. A few other random things. The password system goes by the term sacred words. Never seen that one before, but I sure have some sacred words to say about this game. The bonus rooms have some weird rules. When you shoot the barrels and reveal the items, you can't touch the item or else it sends you out of the room. And if you expose the bad guy, called the God of Poverty in the manual, then same thing. You don't get any items. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. So basically, you gotta cash out before you find that guy. Kind of like a press your luck round. Big bucks. Big bucks. No God of Poverty. Along the way, you spend a lot of time freeing soldiers, or centurions as they're called in the manual. They've been turned to stone by Medusa, but after you've collected them, they fly around and help you out. So, of course, I had to get all those guys. Then I get to this purple dragon, which looks as if the Game Over worm from 3D World Runner and Barba from Zelda 2 got together and, well, that's quite an admission. Anyway, no fear, the Centurions are gonna help me.
Well, that was a waste of time.
By the way, I should have known that red stuff on the bottom is lava. confused me because it looked just like the hot springs that heal you, or whatever that is. Maybe it's Tang. Yeah, remember Tang? After going through the final stage, which becomes a horizontal shooter, you come to the last boss, which looks like something Matt Groening would create. After you shoot out the eye, Medusa appears. And after she's finished, the game is over. You rescue the princess, she thanks you, and depending how well you did, Icarus gradually becomes more muscular. Sort of like in Metroid, where Samus wears less clothes. And then it says, Medusa was destroyed, and the light of peace returned to Angel Land, but in order to maintain peace, Pit's struggle continues?
Oh no. There's a second loop? Well, I'm not playing that shit again. Kid Icarus? More like Kid Dickarus. I'd rather have a Cyclops take a big cycloptic shit all over my head while Medusa freezes me in the stone, preserving the moment for all eternity.
But it is a classic game in its own way. It's great, but it fucking sucks. If all the ancient video game heroes had constellations, I would say Icarus, or Pit, deserves a spot. Oddly, with all the Greek constellations, there never was an Icarus. It was only in 2018 when a distant star was discovered and named Icarus. At 14 billion light years away, it's speculated that it took so long for the light to reach Earth that the star has likely burned out by now. So to see it would literally be to look back into the past. And that sums up this game's legacy. It shines bright in its glory days, and you can still relive those days through nostalgic memory. I induct this game into the Cosmic Nerd Hall of Fame. So next time you look up to the night sky, think of Icarus. When I think back to the 90s, I think of two things, slapstick and crude humor. First, slapstick. Looney Tunes was still popular. You know, physical comedy and visual gags were still being referenced a lot. Animaniacs and Tiny Toons were like direct successors. Then there was Jim Carrey, whose highly expressive face was almost like a cartoon, especially when he had a CG makeover in The Mask. It was like a live-action Looney Tunes character. And then the crude humor and bodily functions were on full display in Dumb and Dumber, which had all three, his shit and cute. The Green Day album that year was called Dookie. Beavis and Butthead were at their peak, and Ren and Stimpy had been wreaking havoc the first half of the decade. It was clear the 90s was the age of the gross out, and it was also the 16-bit era. It was the period reflecting their new technology, showing off more complex character design and animation. Interplay gave us Booger Man, which fully embraced the gross out trend. The peak of the Turd Mountain, overlooking the Barf Marsh, and somewhere where the butt winds blow south to the vomit valleys and doodle dunes, between the boiling ass canyons and solid wastelands, there lies Earthworm Jim. Somebody put pen to paper and said, how about a worm in a spacesuit? And from that point on, the world was never the same. The character appeared in many sequels, including Clay Fighter 63 1/3, which also featured Booger. Earthworm Jim had his own animated series, voiced by Dan Castellaneta, best known as Homer Simpson. I remember when the first Earthworm Jim game came out, it was like nothing I had ever seen. And even though it was on both Genesis and Super Nintendo and was nearly identical, I've always thought of it as a Genesis game. That's the one that came out first, the one I played as a kid, and that's the one I'll be playing now. I have fond memories of this game. Let's see if its inventive game mechanics, fun visuals, and sense of humor still holds up. Some may say it's all about boogers, but it's not. Level 1 starts, and right away, the first thing you do in the whole game is you drop a fridge to launch a cow. It says, cow launched, as if you just completed some major objective. Cow launched? What purpose does that have? Where is the cow now? It has no effect on the rest of the game. You just launch a cow for no reason. It's brilliant.
On top of the zany humor, the character animation is so lively, it's like playing a cartoon. Since Jim is a worm, he uses his head like a rope or a whip. He can use it to attack enemies, he can twirl it like a helicopter, or he can hang on to stuff or swing across. There's no shortage of things the character can do, and the control is fluid and smooth. The way he interacts with the scenery feels natural. When he jumps on a pile of tires, there's a certain rebound that feels just right. The music is awesome. In this case, I prefer the Genesis because it has that gritty, bassy sound to it. And the sound effects are hilarious. All the little voices when Jim gets hurt, the birds scream when you gun them down. And then you get to the boss and the guy's making armpit farts while burping up fish. Amazing. I love it. She says, groovy. Groovy! You gotta love characters that say groovy.
Groovy. Groovy, baby.
Level 2, what the heck, is clearly what the hell, as in literally hell. And this has got to be one of the best all-time hell levels. I mean, just look at it. You're getting major Disney Fantasia vibes, or Don Bluth's All Dogs Go to Heaven. It's so awesome that I have a hard time consolidating everything I want to say. For the music, they use the classic Ride of the Valkyries, but then there's a record skip, and it goes to something super peaceful. But every now and then, you hear somebody screaming. What's going on? The enemies are priceless. There's these chopping monster things. Then there's lawyers. I guess they're making a joke about lawyers in hell. Then there's things you would never think of, like a snowman in hell. And what are these things? Farting assholes? They're farting assholes! I like the evil cat who's in the background the whole time. That actually turns out to be the stage boss, Evil the Cat. Yeah, just a cute little white cat, like Yeti, who keeps blasting fireballs out of cannons. It's little details like the recoil and how the cat stops to lick itself. It's great. Not to mention, Jim is out of the spacesuit, which is funny, just to remind you that he really is a worm. Level 3 is some underwater base. There's these little orange guys that are real unassuming, but if you go near them, they'll slam you around. Man, that's so cool. You gotta hop on a giant hamster to eat them up. And next thing, you're in a little submarine. So this game is always giving you something new. It has a ton of variety, and I can't say enough good things about it. Fuck. Okay, this part might be a problem. Controlling the submarine is not self-explanatory or intuitive. You have to turn the jet propulsions around so that they're pushing you in the right direction. It also gains momentum. You don't want to build up too much speed. If you hit something, it ricochets you back, and you lose control. If the glass cracks too much, you're done for. So you want to take it slow. But you can't take it slow. There's a time limit. You gotta get to the next checkpoint before you run out of air. Take it easy. Nice and easy. No need to rush. Whoa, that was close. Motherfucker! Fuck! Fuck! You know what? I take back everything I said. This game fucking sucks. I'm not even playing around. It's horse shit.
Solution. Deploy flexibly, on premises,
in the cloud or hybrid. Admins configure with ease. Users enjoy a friendly web interface. TLS 1.3 links, PGP encryption, and granular permissions keep files secure. Automate and integrate with SFTP, SharePoint, and Google Drive. Titan MFT, reliable, secure, and built for how you work.
If you make it past the submarine, next up is level 4, snot a problem. As in snot, mucus, boogers. It's fucking nasty. The idea is to defeat the green guy, Major Mucus, by weakening his booger bungee cord till he falls. But don't get bitten in half by the snot monster below. Wow, it always impresses me how they keep making new death animations. Come on. Oh. Come on. What happened there? Next is happening in level 5. Most notable things here, well, first, Jim gets separated from his suit, and you have to fight Professor Monkey for a head. That's his name, and that's what he is.
I've got a monkey grafted to my head.
The next stage is called For Pete's Sake. It's an escort mission where you have to keep this little puppy safe. Oh, look at that cute little puppy just skipping around, so carefree. Oh, I love that little guy. Oh, shit!
So with a game that has so many fart sounds and mucus and gross out humor, all I can say is you haven't seen anything yet. Here comes the grossest level. Intestinal distress. What the fuck? Oh. What is that supposed to be? I don't want to know. What is this? Oh. This is where they took it a little too far. Somebody decided, hey, let's just go all the way, make it as disgusting as possible. On top of that, there's something real disturbing about the music. The whole thing just creeps me out. Oh, but the next and final stage is called Buttville. Oh, no. Oh, okay, it's not so bad. Just a bunch of spikes and lightning. This part, you better be ready to die, and die. In the end, you defeat Queen Slug for a butt, and then rescue Princess What's-Her-Name, and then the cow from level 1 lands on her. And if you wait through the credits, they fall through the ground into lava. Overall, it's a great game with great variety and great sense of humor, but has some frustrating parts. So there you go. I'd like to introduce The Balance of Shit Justice, a game with no problems will sit in the green zone to mark its outstanding excellence. But with every flaw, every turd that drops on the other side, it moves the game into a worse zone. This one, by my assessment, is a rather good game with a few turds weighing on it. Want some more? Well, I figured if I'm going to play through one game, I might as well play through the sequel, Earthworm Jim 2. Consider this a bonus. First up, level 1, anything but tangerines. Is it just me, or are things getting even weirder? You're lifting pigs out of pig pens, sending them down slides into fish bowls, putting them on boards of wood to raise weights. If you leave them alone, they meditate and float away. Whenever Jim stands still, he takes a little guy out of his pocket and eats him. You're stealing motorized stair chairs from angry old ladies. And next, in level 2, Lorenzen Soil, you're moving dirt around, which is probably the most worm-like thing Earthworm Jim has ever done. And what was that? What did he just do? Scattered in between are these recurring stages where you're bouncing puppies off a cushion or giant marshmallow, trying to get them into a funnel, or else they go splat. Damn, that's fucking brutal. Baby puppies splatting on the concrete? That's fucked up. But you want to see some crazy shit? Level 3. You're back in the intestines again.
As if anyone wanted to see that. But now you look like an oxalotl. A fucking oxalotl! There's weird membrane shit, pencils, pinball parts, windows. Next thing you're plunged into a game show all of a sudden. How does Jim spell his first name? Wow.
When heartburn hits, reach for Tums and love food back.
Time for them.
Never.
It begs the question, who pitched this idea? And how in the holy mother of shit were they not dismissed as just being a total lunatic? It's as if the whole point was to make everything as random as humanly possible. That'd be like if I came to you and said, hey, I got an idea for a game. How about your Eastern Spadefoot pose in the Helix Nebula? And you gotta stab foil chairs with rubber chickens, and out come marble giraffes. And you have to balance the giraffes on feather wreaths. And you take them to hot tubs full of salsa, which transforms the giraffes into cat trophies, which you have to collect and place all the trophies along a line of Twizzlers before a blue panda comes and eats them all, and then morphs into a giant ball of metal slime!
Let's play the game. Level 4, the Flying King. Uh-oh, somebody switched on the diarrhea dial. The suck power of that ass straw is turned to full blast. It's bad enough that everything's trying to kill you, and it's like trying to dodge rain droplets in a thunderstorm like in Silver Surfer. But on top of that, you have to keep track of this balloon that's carrying an explosive. You can't let it blow up. And you have to keep pushing it all the way to the end of the stage. But you can't focus on the balloon because there's too many enemies to deal with. Also, whenever you beat a stage, the cows talk. Well done. I gotta ask, what's the deal with all the cows? Some running joke, I guess? I don't get it. What is this preposterous preoccupation with cows? Some random animal that you can't stop referencing? Alright, let's play some more of this buffalo shit. Level 5, utterly abducted. Yeah, we're going full cow now. Here, you have to pick up cows and take them into the stable where the machine milks them. The milker goes to tail and lifts up the barrier. Next time, you need 2 cows, and then 3, or else the barrier won't lift all the way. Did Jim ever think about ducking under the barrier? I guess that would make too much sense. Here's where it gets nuts. The cows can get abducted by aliens, and let me tell you, these aliens want these cows bad. They are persistent as fuck and never go away. That's my cow! Get your own! You don't know the meaning of suffering until you've been hauling a cow over cliffs and almost making it to the stable, only to have a UFO take the cow away. Man, I have some real fear at this level. You're trying to be off my fucking cow, you alien piece of shit! If you lose the cow, you gotta go all the way back. If you die, you go all the way back. And if the cow explodes for no reason, you go all the way back. Yes, some of the cows are explosive, and you have a time limit to take them to a bathtub to defuse them. Who would think to do that? But that's not all. You have to find the cows in the correct order. You think maybe they put a little too much thought into this? The cows spawn from flowers. Yes, I didn't even mention that yet. The cows spawn from flowers. If you come to a flower and it doesn't spawn the cow, that's how you know you've approached it in the wrong order. It would have really helped if they at least had an arrow or something to guide you. But no, you gotta just take a shitty guess. Meanwhile, there's these magician coffins that I can't stop falling into. And if it's not already complicated enough, you have to launch the cow over with a cannon. But then you gotta get yourself over by swinging on snot. Oh my god, can you believe that shit? Oh man, there has to be another way over there. You can't go through? And there's a 1-up just to tease you. Alright, well, gotta go back. Next, level 6, inflated head. Your worm head turns into a balloon, and you have to dodge everything in sight. If you get hit by anything, it pops your head head, and you fall back down, down, down. It's as cheap as it gets. You know, variety is one thing, but when every stage is something wildly different, it starts to feel like you're constantly trying to learn a new game. It never lets you get used to one thing, just keeps throwing you these crappy curveballs. In level 7, ISO 9000, you're jumping across piles of legal paperwork. You have to carry mice in rolling cage balls and take them to certain destinations, but the real pain in the ass here is all the killer filing cabinets. These things will not chill. They just keep on coming, and they never, ever stop. Man, that's a shitty day. Don't you hate it when you get stuck between a filing cabinet? I can't get over that filing cabinet. I know you're supposed to jump on the drawer, but I still can't get over it. It's gonna kill me against the wall.
I don't like need to be, you know? I'll only do when my friends do it. Or on the weekends. I don't know. I don't really like to think about it.
Level 8 is called Level 8, as in food. Yeah, you gotta love food levels. This would have to make my top 10 food stages. Look at this. Running from salt shakers and straws, literally whipping eggs, hopping across all types of meat. Got some burgers sizzling in the background. Wonder if they're from the same cows. Level 9 is a secret level, which you can otherwise skip past. It's called Totally Forked, which is a great name, but the Genesis version here just says Forked. So there's some regional differences, and I guess my region couldn't be more good. Straight out called it Totally Fucked. Level 10 is the final level, thank God. It's called See Jim Run, Run Jim Run. This is basically nothing more than a race against the recurring nemesis, Psycho. Keeping up with this guy is almost impossible. There's all these obnoxious barriers in the way and poorly placed pitfalls. It's unforgiving as hell. And if you accidentally get the gun that shoots bubbles, it's useless, and you have to give up. If you actually manage to stay ahead of Psycho and beat him to the finish line, Jim hails a cab, which crushes Psycho. He rescues Princess What's-Her-Name, and in a twist ending, all them turn out to be cows in disguise. Wow.
Well, Earthworm Jim 2 was an ordinary. The first one was mostly fun, but this one was like torches. Let's send it to the balance of shit justice.
Well, you can see, there's lots of turds weighing on it. I don't know, this one ain't the worst I ever played for sure, but too many turds. I think I've suffered enough. There's another one, Earthworm Jim 3D. 64. Let's see how the franchise held up making the switch to 3D. So I'm putting in some overtime here. Open it up. I don't want to do that. We're gross. Why would they be in a fucking can anyway? Okay, so the game starts up with the most bizarre plot. Jim is in a hospital, unconscious, which is a very cheerful way to kick things off. His friends gather around, which includes Elvis for some reason. So the whole game takes place inside Jim's mind, where everything he does is part of a big mission to gain his consciousness back. Right at the start, you're collecting marbles. Get it? Like he lost his marbles. But then he has to find some chicken's underwear. Yeah, I don't know what the underwear has to do with anything. I'm only briefing you on the situation. The humor gets a little more crude. The phrase clucking hell is used, and Jim flips you off with what he seems like the I mean, he's flipping the bird, right? But the movie is so far off the rails, it doesn't come off as funny anymore. Why is he shooting out leprechauns? I'm supposed to knock out enemies with a leprechaun? Yeah, take that! You want a leprechaun in your hood? It caters more to the animated series, which had already come on by now. So you hear a lot of the manufactured metal voice, which keeps making me think of Homer Simpson. It's just one thing to keep You hear it all the time. Is that going to be the new Where Did You Learn to Fly? Brain! Another thing you gotta get used to is that the first stage has this sort of country sounding song that just loops over and over and over. Then there's those disorienting camera angles. This is kind of like the curse of the time. It's what happens to many games of this era when they switch to 3D. So Torment didn't always suck sideways, now it sucks in 3 dimensions. Brain! The levels are designed to be huge open spaces, as if they made the level version and they didn't have time to put that many enemies in there. So most of the time, there's nothing to come at. You're just running around. It's flat out boring. Reviewing this game would be like telling you about my entire day. I woke up, got out of bed, it was a little bit cold, put my socks on, went to the bathroom. When I flushed, I noticed the handle was a little loose. So I put that fixed. I want to hear all that shit. Brain! This is the stage where you hear a ticking clock. Let me ask you, is a ticking clock that's what you hear in school when you're taking a test or waiting for the bell to ring. Tell me any situation where a ticking clock is something that puts you in a good mood or gets you excited. That sound sums up this whole game. Brain! In order to keep sane, I have to do insane things like this. There's the occasional funny thing to point out, like this Resident Evil spoof where chickens are jumping through windows. And the stage is called Poultrygeist, like the Trauma movie. Lloyd would be very egg-cited. There's also a ghost vacuum, not like the kind of the first ghost vacuum, but a literal ghost vacuum, implying that vacuums can be alive in the first place and have a soul. Then there's a boss with a cannon coming out of his body. Now, why did they have to position the cannon right there? Brain! Even though this game is boring and uneventful, it's no meaningful. It gets just as frustrating, probably even more so than the other games. First of all, good marbles. That's exactly what I want to do in a game. Go around collecting marbles. It's just as much fun as Superman 64, flying through all those rings. The worst part's when you die, you lose all the marbles and have to start over. And there's quicksand everywhere. When you land in it, you can't jump. You're stuck. You have to backtrack to get on the solid land. Then there's the knockback. When you get hit, it can knock you off the ledge. There's nothing fun about any of this. After it's over, you'd hope there'd be at least a good ending, but no, there isn't. Brain! Well, there we go. I beat the whole Arkham trilogy. Let's see how this one holds up on the balance of shit.
To the new generation of web creation, where words can launch a business, while you control every detail.
Well, the shit really weighs down on this one. I'd say this puts it in a very unfavorable category. Yeah. And if you want to put Earthworm Jim 3D on a scale with Jaws 3D, Friday the 13th 3D, and Amityville 3D, it doesn't even compare. It's not enjoyably bad, it's just bad.
For those who have fond memories of Earthworm Jim, I'm here to remind you, it wasn't all fun. It's a mixed bag, but mostly stay away from Earthworm Jim 3D. Yeah. Well, anyway, that was 3 reviews, so let's end this thing. See you next time with more shitty games.
Today is the big day. The new Indiana Jones movie is out. That's right, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's gonna be good, I think. It was only yesterday I was showing you all the games based on the classic trilogy. But now, as what? I have a little surprise for you. Of course, there's always gonna be games I miss. I already showed you a few based on Last Crusade, but there's like 1,000 more. There's one on Commodore 64, which is basically like a shittier version of the Genesis game, which is pretty shitty itself. I remember that's the one where Indy pours from the Grail onto his father, like in the movie. Except, what is he pouring? That looks, questionable.
Yes, Cindy, right on my chest.
Then there's the PC version, which is actually good. It's a point-and-click game, made with a lot of care and attention to detail. The graphics and the lighting are really well done, but hang on. What's Indy doing with the water fountain? If he's drinking, he would be leaning over. So I can only conclude that since this game was developed and published by Lucasfilm Games, later LucasArts, it must be considered canon that Indy is a sickness. Anyway, about that surprise, I'm going to do something a little different here. Usually, I take you back to the past. This time, I'm going to play a new game. Yeah! They sent me an advanced copy of the new Crystal Skull game. I figured before I go see the movie, might as well check out the game. I see it has that guy from Transformers. I don't know how that's gonna go, but the big question, what console is this? Didge? Yeah, the Leapfrog Didge. It's a brand new handheld console coming this summer. It's quite an opportunity to be among the first to review it. It's geared towards children and is meant to be educational. Let's get this bastard out of the box. Ugh, you think there's enough packaging here? Son of a bitch. Come on. Oh look, they give you little stickers for overlays. Which one do you prefer? Well, obviously this one. Oh, I hate doing this shit. Get over there. Come on, smooth it out. Oh wait, they give you this protective cover also. So you're not going to see the sticker anyway. Fuckers. Let's put the game in. You know, I have high hopes here. I bet this will be pretty decent. It can't be like those old games. I'm sure they learned their lessons. So Indy and Mutt are looking for the skull. His name is Mutt? What kind of name is that? If they named the dog Indiana, where did Mutt come from? I have a bad feeling about this Indy. Yeah, I do too. The game starts up and it's a self-explanatory side scroller. Jump around and rip the snakes. We also have the option to punch you. Not sure why. Did Indy just punch a scorpion? And a big one! The scorpion's bigger than him. Imagine if you saw a scorpion that big and had the nerve to walk up to it and punch it. Who does that? Next, he's punching giant rats. It's as big as that thing George Clooney fights in Dusk Till Dawn. I mentioned this was an educational system. Well, every now and then, you open a chest and have to answer a math problem. But the real problem is this game is a piece of shit. Sometimes you come to a series of platforms. You have to jump on the one with the correct answer, or else you fall through. Could you imagine that? Speaking from personal experience, I'm supposed to be good at math because I'm a nerd, but really I'm not. If this were real, if my life depended on knowing the math, I'd be screwed. Imagine that. I walk up to the platform and then someone asks, "Quick, what's 32 divided by 8? I'd be like, fuck! As for those treasure chests, the strange thing is, it's optional. You don't really need to do it unless you want the points. Some people could be playing this and they're supposed to be learning math, but instead they skip the chests and just play the action parts.
Let me ask you a question. If you were playing a game and you had to choose between solving math problems and not solving math problems, which would you choose?
Some games you play as Indy, others you play as Mud. He's in the jungle, fighting with a sword on top of trucks and jeeps. Next he's climbing on vines. And the funny thing is, I bet none of this even happens in the movie. But next, is there going to be a bunch of monkeys? Not happening. When you beat the stage boss, Spalko, the game actually allows you to continuously whack her with the sword. Jeez, how cool! Spalko? More like Spanko. The game is appropriately easy for kids, but damn, sometimes the clunky control can be frustrating and lead to many deaths. Just a reminder, this is not an NES controller.
It's so unfair! Shit! Oh, you motherfucker!
Final boss is a statue of life. Now, this guy is tough. Man!
You motherfucker!
Oh, man! Well, after finally beating him, Indy grabs the skull, looks like he places it on a skeleton body. Don't look at it left, it unleashes its power, much like the heart, and escape.
I don't know about this game. I guess I have high expectations for anything new, but I am excited about the movie. This is more than that. It's an event. Crystal Skull is going to be the last Indiana Jones movie. There's no way they're going to make any more. It's not like they can de-age Harrison Ford or anything like that. That'd be like if in 15 years I come back to the same episode. How crazy would that be? Anyway, fuck this Didge game. Didge, you know, it's a piece of shit. Missed. Here, let me try again. Oh, the thing's so small. Did you really expect me to hit it? What do we got there?
The essence of driving is gripping the road, keeping momentum, and responding with precision. The essence of driving, often.
Nice going, Ray.
So, before I head off to see the movie, I want to take a brief look at some of the other games to see ahead of time where the movie might take inspiration. For example, on the PC, there was a game called Indiana Jones and the Desktop Adventures. Wow, real exciting name, right? That would be like calling one of the movies Indiana Jones and the Movie Escapade. It's a precursor to Star Wars Yoda stories. It's an overhead action-based game with a puzzle-solving element. The exploration aspect is great, has some appeal, but the movement and controls are pretty awful. Great adventuring, bad combat. But the reason I bring it up is because, keep in mind, this game came out in '96, but the Crystal Skull is in it. Of course, the Crystal Skulls are real-life artifacts with a lot of mystery surrounding them, but the fact they were already included in the Indiana Jones universe means that the new movie may borrow things from the games. It was long speculated that Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis from '92 might be the subject of the next movie. While that turned out not to be true, the game did a good job of adding new lore to the franchise. It's another point-and-click game, and for its time, was very cutting edge. A lot of thought went into the plot, and the artwork is great. The graphics and sound are excellent. It plays out very well. It gives you enough clues to figure out what to put. Above all, it feels very cinematic, as if this could have been the fourth movie. But feels kind of sad to end all the fun speculation. Indiana Jones was, of course,
course, inspired by many old film serials and movies that Steven Spielberg and George Lucas saw when they were young. They were also inspired by comics, most notably all the classic Scrooge McDuck adventures by Carl Barks. So getting back to the games, it's worth looking to see what other Indiana Jones... Wait a minute, that's not an Indiana Jones game. To see what else the fourth movie could draw from, we could check out the 3D games. Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb was fairly recent. It was on PS2, Xbox, PC, all that shit. Here, Indy has to find a pearl, the heart of the dragon, buried with the first Emperor of China. Once again, it doesn't seem like the new film is based on it, but there's a great wealth of imagination and adventure within that could make for great cinematics. This game is another good one, except for some annoying camera angles. You get to use the whip in all the ways you hope for, the voice acting is good, the likeness of Harrison Ford is done pretty well, and overall, there's not much to complain about. But there was a game that came out before this one, Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. Infernal? The dictionary defines infernal as irritating and tiresome. Sounds like something the Shredder would say, like, blast this infernal machine! Well, this was the first 3D Indiana Jones game. It came out in '99 on PC, 2000, and 64. From what I heard, it's only available at Blockbuster Video. This one's set after the original trilogy. The Soviets are trying to dig up a legendary Babylonian engine that was used to contact an ancient god or whatever. Indy meets up with a member of the CIA who sends him on a mission.
You're a famous archaeologist. I'm a spy.
Yeah, a spy can't do any of this shit. Leave it to the archaeologist. Makes sense. The gameplay is very much like Zelda Ocarina of Time. Pushing blocks, the Z targeting, and the on-screen item selection and button commands are almost identical. One of the weapons you can switch to is a pair of boxing gloves. Come on, really? Indy's carrying around boxing gloves? And when you switch to it, he punches bare-handed anyway. I don't get it. Did you see that? I just killed a snake by punching the air above it. You better watch these snakes. If you get bit, the venom starts draining your health. You gotta use the antidote, but if you're not paying attention, you might not even realize it.
Having no understanding.
Hey, Indy. Indy? Snap out of it. Oh boy, Indy's talking to the wall again. That venom's making me feel funny. So you just go around solving puzzles. He's somewhat in line with the movies. He'll do things like climb on top of a truck, and somehow the enemies don't notice him. I mean, come on, there's a guy laying on top of the truck. You can't see that? Then you're doing these shitty leap of faith jumps. Of course, it is an Indiana Jones game. And one time I actually landed on a button which unlocked the next part. I didn't even know that was the goal. Just making this up as I go. Next, it's an icy winter level. Okay, so what do I do here? Hiss Jehovah in the snow? I must say, I love when he swims and he takes his hat off. Because that would be unrealistic to swim with his hat on. When he comes back out of the water, the hat reappears. So I can only conclude that every time he goes in the water, he loses the hat and puts a new one on. Yeah, confirmed. Indy has an unlimited supply of hats in his pants.
You could be vaping formaldehyde, which is used in taxidermy.
Oh dear.
What?
Formaldehyde. Oh dear.
What? I knew it. Oh dear, oh dear. What?
Are you an elf? I know what I am.
to the museum.
The jumps in this game are insane. It seems 90% of the time all you're doing is jumping around, hoping to make it. Get over there! You motherfucker! Dude, try again. Oh! Leap of faith? More like leap of fuck you! References. Anyway, I've gone far enough down the rabbit hole of Indiana Jones games, so I'm done. And hey, guess what? You know what time it is? It's movie time. That's right. I'm off to see.
Well, I'll see you next time with some shorter reviews. You know, I need a little break here. So, just stay away from all that foul shit. Go check out the movie, I guess. And I'll see you later.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. I can't believe it's not as good as...
Oh, when I do this.